Official visit of the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, Stepan Poltorak, to Portugal is coming to its end. In the framework of this visit, the Minister held a meeting with the Minister of National Defense and the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Portugal, during which the sides discussed the issues of bilateral cooperation. During this visit, the Ministry of Defense also met with the Ukrainian community in Portugal, volunteers and mass media representatives. The Ministry of Defense of Ukraine continues work on preparation of Ukrainian team to international sports competitions in Invictus Games. These are international sports competitions for servicemen and veterans with disabilities that resulted from injuries during their service. This competition is held since 2014. Among the participants, there will be member countries and strategic partners of the alliance. This year, Invictus Games will be held in September in Toronto, Canada. Representatives of Ukraine will participate in archery competition, athletics, indoor rowing, powerlifting, swimming, and road cycling competitions. As of today, 186 applications were accepted from the candidates, including 26 applications from Ukraine. On January 20, February 4th, the candidates will pass a test on the sports basis of Ministry of Defense in order to select the best ones to participate. On the 21st of January, the test will take place on the sports base for summer sports in Lviv. On the 28th of January, in the National Sports Club of the Armed Forces in Kiev. And on the 4th of February, in the 9th Sports Club in Odessa. At present, the Ministry of Defense, together with the National Committee for Sports Committee for People with Disabilities and Invictus Games Committee in Ukraine, finished the preparation of the plan. They continue work on the issues of financial, medical, and other support. The Cabinet of Ministers has created a task force on organization of participation of Ukrainian team in this international competition. This group is directed by the Vice Prime Minister on European and Euro-Atlantic integration. Among the participants, there are representatives of the Ministry of Defense. Contract service in the Army remains among the most competitive professions on the labor market. In 2016, over 69,000 of servicemen have signed contract with the Army. 7,500 among them are officers. This year, the Ministry of Defense continues activity to maintain interest to the military professions. They will pay attention to the quality of the selected candidates. The Ministry of Defense, by its order, adopted DDAL system, a set of parachute system for paratroopers. It is earmarked for training jumps, combat jumps, and other types of parachuting individually or in a group, with a full set of armament and ammunition for paratroopers of all military professions. This for jumps from transport military planes and helicopters. The system can be used for basic training, for professional training, and combat training. The ceiling of the jump is 8 kilometers, and the surface of the parachute canopy is 83 square meters. The minimal altitude for jumps is 100 to 200 meters, and the descent velocity of the paratrooper is no more than 5 meters per second. Last year, the enterprises of the Ministry of have passed to the Ministry of Defense over 154 units of various ammunition and nearly 14,500 units samples of military equipment. In particular, almost 1,300 units of artillery rocket equipment, nearly 600 units equipment for surveillance and intelligence, almost 70 units of armored vehicles, 400 units of vehicles, planes, helicopters, unmanned aerial vehicles, radar stations, and etc. The 20 units of weapons were adopted. In this year, the Ministry of Defense plans to procure over 3.5 million units of various ammunition and almost 12,000 samples of military equipment. In February this year, the ministry plans to start tests of a tactical armored vehicle BARS. After the test, the ministry will make a decision on whether to procure these vehicles for the armed forces of Ukraine. The military engineers in the 80 zone had cleared from mines over 1 hectare of land. They defused 355 explosive devices. Since the start of the 80, the military engineers defused over 140,000 of mines and explosive devices. They cleared from mines 2,765 hectares of land in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions. I would like to add that within the charity project, the help is on the way. The CEMIC officers from the operational commands East and doctors from key positions of Dnipropetrovsk City Clinical Hospital visited Special Comprehensive Boarding School number 40 in Paraskovivka village in Bakhmut region of the Donetsk region. Among the students of this school, there are children displaced from the conflict zone and children with disabilities. The CEMIC officers brought them 700,000 of candy, and the doctors examined the children and provided recommendations on further treatment. This is all for today. Thank you. The press conference is over.